Well, it's a bit windy here for the final round of the 2014 Thundersport GB Championships, but the sun is shining down on us and we are back to where it all began in 2008 for the series. Today, there are some championships up for grabs. The Street Fighters is getting really close, the Pre-Nationals is yet to win, and of course we bring you all the action from the superb Thundersport 500s. So sit back, relax, and welcome to Thundersport Plus. So here we are then in Parc Ferme, Mallory Park, the final championship round of the 2014 season. Coming in just behind me here, the Thundersport 500s, one of many races in today's show. But the championships are up for grabs in the Street Fighters and in the Pre-Nationals. Let's get back in that commentary box and get down ready for race one.
Well, as you can see here at Mallory, slightly breezy, but for an October afternoon, the weather's not bad at all. Blue skies, but the circuit, a bit of sprinkling of water this morning, so wet tyres the order of the day. Martin Stanier there, number 121, and Ryan Strafford here, number 57. All to play for in the Isle of Man Race Product Street Fighter Extreme Championship. There's just a couple of points separating them. That one could go down to the last round. I think Martin Stanier, I see there, has got an intermediate rear, which could spice things up. We've also got the Street Fighter Bs, the Street Fighter Cs, and the 500 Cup, so we'll keep an eye out for that. Michael Riddle there, number 44, the RAF Motorsport. Michelle, we've got someone down at the back there. Someone has gone down immediately on the start line as the riders head into turn one, and that is number 61. That's Oliver Charlesworth just pushing his bike to the side, but meanwhile at the front, Martin Stanier it is that has this advantage, number 121 up ahead of Ryan Strafford. These guys here are in a really interesting position overall. Stanier really needs to win both races here today to be crowned Street Fighter Extreme Champion. Ryan Strafford has had that advantage for so long, mainly due to consistency more than anything else. He's been in the top two steps of pretty much nearly every single race this season. Strafford there though on the right of your picture, number 57. Oh, and he's taken advantage there of Martin Stanier running wide, and also Paul Cunfin there. Another rider to look out for, number 8 in third place. Number 18 in third place. He's got 8 on his leathers. And there's Keith Warren, Street Fighter C champion, has gone down these conditions, catching a few people out early on. And Keith Bunny Warren, then there he is. He's up, he's okay, and the champion, who keeps on saying that he might not appear in this championship again next year. Well, we hope that we see him again. There's Michael Riddle, we mentioned him earlier, one of the riders on that green Kawasaki that rides under the Royal Air Force Motorsport banners. But Ryan Strafford here is doing exactly what he needs to do. Number 57, recently crowned as early as yesterday as the Street Fighter B champion. He won that from number 18 there, Paul Cunfin. Michael Riddle, well, when he is here and he's not on duty, he's always up at the sharp end and he's desperately trying to cling on to these guys. Further back also look out for Adam Palferman, who looks set to take third overall in Street Fighter B Championship. Chris Spink on Street Fighter A's. Kev Howdle, usually a man to look out for in that as well. In the 500 Cup, that's an overflow basically. We have so many Thundersport 500s that you'll see very shortly on this Thundersport Plus show that they can't all race. But Dave Stewart and all at Thundersport give them a chance to ride in this as an overflow race. And at the moment, it's Lee Sylvan that has the advantage. There is a couple of them. Number 40 there is Steve Dufton. Also got number 3 in the mix, the KTM Supermoto machine of John Mead. He's currently second in class. Adrian Bridges, the man to look out for now that Keith Warren's gone down. But Ryan Strafford it is that has this lead so far. He's got full wets on. You can see here it's a bit chilly, the track temperature, but there's a lot of dry patches. So I'm not sure how those wets are going to last here in this race. And here comes Martin Stanier now, looking to outbrake Strafford into Shaw's hairpin and almost wipes him out. It is such a tough corner to get right. If you're going to go for a move up the inside, you've got to get it really properly cemented before tipping in. Paul Cunfin in third, just drifting away now. It doesn't look like he's going to catch these two. The class and feel a bit of debris on the middle of the circuit there. Shouldn't affect too many people. Number 94 there, Joe Miller's about to be lapped. No, and there is a change, and there's Stanier there using the power advantage. There is, of course, Street Fighter Extreme and Street Fighter B. Now, Strafford is a Street Fighter B. Less power available to him than Mountain Stanier has under his saddle. Of course, he's on that Suzuki 750. So on the straights, he does have that advantage. So Strafford is going to have to make up for it into the corners. And there you see, nice defensive line from Martin Stanier. Stanier, well, if he wins this one, then he'll still have a bit of catching up to do. He'll still have to beat Ryan Strafford in the second race. Strafford has that sort of comfort barrier of knowing that if he doesn't quite do it in this race, then he has one last shot at it, and there's a back marker there, and that's possibly the worst news you can have as a tail ender when you've got the leaders going underneath you and around the outside of you into Shaw's hairpin. That was poor Ross Danbury there, getting himself in a bit of a pickle. Not his fault, but these guys are flying, desperately trying to win this Isle of Man race product Street Fighter. There's going to be a slight amendment to the rules for Street Fighters next year. It's going to make it a lot simpler for me in the commentary box, I have to say, and it should make some of the racing quite exciting as well. There's a few people interested in it. I won't go into too much detail now because there's a few adjustments to be made to the rules, but next year when we roll out ready for the 2015 season, we will see a slight adjustment in the rules. Should make it a more equal playing field. It's number 99 there, that is Lee Winters, known as the Lion Tamer. Used to be a Lion Tamer back in the day, and he's just got himself in front of Ryan Strafford there. That's definitely cost him a good half a second, and Martin Stanier, a bit of breathing space now as your race leader. Number 121, the rider from Stoke-on-Trent on that MS Racing Suzuki. Meanwhile, Ryan Strafford there from Murfield on the Access Drilling Triumph. He's in one of those tricky positions here because he knows that if he stays in second place, that he'll keep the lead of the championship going into the final race of the season, which will be coming up later. As you just see Dave Blakey from Peterborough going around in the 500 Cup. However, if Strafford was to fall here, it would really be bad news. They're now just putting a lap on Street Fighter C leader. That's Street Fighter C leader Adrian Bridges, who's up in 7th place. That's how quick these guys are going at the moment. They are lapping seriously quickly. And, well, they're actually in with a chance of getting up to 5th. Oh, there's a monster crash down into Edwina's there. A couple of riders gone down. That's Dave Blakey, and I think also Steve Dufton. It is Steve Dufton and Dave Blakey, and Dave's still on the floor there. Hope both riders are okay, but that will cost them any victory in the 500 Cup. We're getting to the closing stages now then of this Isle of Man race product Street Fighters race, and Martin Stanier here is doing exactly what's after me. He's even lapped Adam Palfreman. That's unheard of. Adam's in 5th place overall on circuit, currently 4th in class, and there is Ryan Strafford going around the outside of them also. Last that flags out, but Paul Cunliffe closing up on them. Number 18. Now that could have a big impact on this championship. If Paul Cunliffe gets past Ryan Strafford, then both Stanier and Strafford will be equal on points going into the final Street Fighter race that we'll bring you here on Motors TV. Stanier's doing his job out front. They're not going to catch him, but that's quite important in the background. Cunvin, who just missed out on the Street Fighter B Championship to Strafford this season, has caught up to that triumph. Number 23 there, that's Ross Danbury just being lapped again. He's obviously a rookie with that orange bib on, so he's in his first full season of racing. But Martin Stanier, good job so far. He's been catching Ryan Strafford over the last 3 rounds. He knew, however, that he had to stay consistent. And when he's picked the right tyre set up here, the intermediate rear has come into play, and he exits the final turn here. And Martin Stanier is going to do the job. It's just a matter now as to where the rest of them finish, and it's going to be Paul Cunvin. Cunvin has got Strafford on this final lap, and Strafford finishes 3rd overall. Now then, that means that this man here, Martin Stanier, the race winner, and Ryan Strafford, number 57, will go into the final race of the season level on points. How about that? Cunvin then confirmed 2nd ahead of Strafford, and he wins Street Fighter B. Mick Riddle 4th ahead of Adam Palfreman, and Chris Spink finishes up in 2nd place. There is Martin Stanier and Chris Spink, 2nd place in the Street Fighter A's, I should just point out. Street Fighter B, Cunvin, Strafford and Mick Riddle. In Street Fighter C, it's Adrian Bridges, John Mead, and in the 500 Cup, it's Lee Silvan, James Plummer and Lee Winters.
Paul, you just missed out on the Street Fighter B Championship yesterday, but nice to get on the top step again here today on the final day of the season.
Yeah, definitely. I seem to only win when the weather's rubbish, so I saw it was raining and I thought, I might be in with a chance. So I spent most of the race sideways, didn't know what was going on, and then caught back up to Ryan and managed to pass him on the last lap, so yeah, really happy.
Anyone to thank at all?
Yeah. Big shout out to Stevie Kaplan from the Sportsman Elite. He drove 3 hours out of his way to pick me up yesterday to get me here. And the RAF Motorsport Association and Pitty's Custom Vinyls and Tank Slap Motorcycle Forum as well.
Well done, guys. If I could ask you just to move over this way, and then the conveyor belt brings in Ryan Strafford. Ryan, first of all, many congratulations on Street Fighter B. That was the intention at the start of the season. You've managed that, and congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much. Like you say, that was what we entered. That was what we wanted to win. The team's worked very, very hard to get there. I have to say we haven't had any DNFs, although we've been disqualified. So it's been pretty flawless. We've had some brilliant battles with Paul, excellent competitor, and couldn't wish for anyone else. We took 7 out of 9 lap records this year, so we've just pushed the bar as far as we could.
I'll let you thank all the people that you need to thank in a moment, but I've got to talk about the Street Fighter Extreme Championship, of course. Having come third in that race, it's now completely level on points between you and Martin. I noticed you had a wet rear on, or full wets on in that race. Martin went for the intermediate rear, possibly, I think, but struggling for grip a bit there? Yeah,
obviously Martin's got a few more years over me. He went for a bit of experience there. We should have had an intermediate on, but there's nothing we can do about it. We ruined a wet, but it probably wasn't quite slick weather. It's just the way it is. But it all goes down to the wire. The last race, I've won my championship, so it's all on Martin now. I'll T-bone him somewhere if I have to.
Anyone to thank at all, Roy?
I've got to thank all the sponsors, everybody you can see here, everybody that's helped me out, everybody at Thundersport puts on a great weekend. Absolutely love it. Thank you very much for everybody.
Well done to you, Ryan. Now we'll bring in the overall race winner, Martin Stanier. Martin, level on points then, you've heard it. You've been chasing that tally down for what seems like months now. You finally got it, final race this season, dead level on points. How do you feel about that?
I couldn't have made it any harder, really, could I? Yeah, last race, hopefully it's dry. That was a bit horrible, but I think we picked the right tyre with the intermediate, so I think that helped us out in that one. So looks like it's going to be wheel-to-wheel battle right to the last lap. So yeah, looking forward to it, yeah. It's all good fun.
It certainly is, yeah. We're looking forward to it too. Anyone to thank at all?
Yeah, Pace Days, Track Days, they helped us out with a couple of rear tyres. All the friends and family who come to help, and everybody at Thundersport.
Join us again after the break. We have another championship to settle. It's the A&R Racing Pre-National 600s. Welcome back to Thundersport Plus. It's Mallory Park, the final round of the season, and this championship's still up for grabs. The A&R Racing Pre-National 600s. This man here, number 33, Adam Revel, is in charge so far, and he really just needs to finish in the top 5 or 6 here to cement that and pick up the championship. Dean Mulkey, we just saw. Chris Sanders having a strong weekend. He's going to be picking up the Military Services Championship Award, and number 67, a rider that's really improving, George Pycroft as well. The news is in this championship, throughout the year, we've seen Adam Revel, Dean Mulkey and Matt Truelove all fighting it out. Truelove has decided to give his brother the ride this weekend, even though he's in with a shot of winning the championship. Very surprising decision that. Either way, he cannot now win it. And so it's just down to number 95, Dean Mulkey, and number 33, Adam Revel. George Pycroft it is that gets that advantage. Now, we've got a rider just pulling out in the background there. That looked like Carl Dyer, that might just have his arm up and pulling out of the race. Situation is as follows. Dean Mulkey has got to win this race, number 95, currently in 4th place. Adam Revel, realistically, just got to finish these 2 races. This is because Dean Mulkey threw it up the road yesterday. He's been catching Revel, really, and it looked like we were going to have a proper ding-dong for this title. But that fall from Dean yesterday here at Mallory Park means that Mulkey has to win both races and hope for other results to go his way. That is number 57, that's Harry Truelove, taking over his brother's ride, and this might be a sign of things to come for 2015, but it's Pycroft there, and number 157 with the rookie vest on, Charlie Morris from Potter's Bar, a rider that's really, really improving. And that's the great thing about this championship pre-national. It is a class for riders that have yet to attain national licence. And for many, as you can see with the orange bits on it, it's their first full season of rating. And Charlie Morris is one of the standout improvers, as well as this man that has the early lead, George Pycroft of Measham on the Pallet Brothers Racing Triumph. He tips into Edwina's there. There's a change for second place as Chris Sanders, I don't know where Carl came from, Chris Sanders from Wittering, the British Army race team rider, who's doing very well on that Triumph this year. Another rider that could have featured in this championship were it not for a few inconsistencies throughout the year. Quick rider on that Triumph. He moves up into second place ahead of Charlie Morris. Dean Mulcahy at the moment then in third place. Is he? No, fourth place. Yes, third. Chris Sanders has moved back a bit, so a few problems there for Chris going into the hairpin. And now Dean Mulcahy is going to have a look at moving into second place overall. Adam Revel on the Kawasaki there, number 33 in fifth place. That's good enough. He doesn't need to do anything too silly. And we've also got James May, not the Top Gear James May, I'll just point out, going around on that red number 7. He is up into 6th place, and James is just inside the top 10 overall of the championship. Pycroft it is that has the advantage, though, through Edwina's ahead of Dean Mulcahy, number 95. Dean out there on that Phoenix Race Team Yamaha. I don't want to say win it or pin it, because that's a little unfair. He's finished more than he's fallen, but he is one of the standout riders this year. It's just that inconsistency is going to cost him, you fear. Problems for Chris Sanders. You can hear that clicking and that banging into Shaw's hairpin, and I think that's Chris Sanders struggling to get his bike into the lower gears. He's losing a lot of time as a result of that. Number 26 is Andy Cooley there of Windsor, another of our British Army race team riders. And well, we'll look forward to seeing the military services out again next year. The Thundersport GB Championships hold more of the military services riders than any other across Great Britain, and it's wonderful to have them, and discounts available, I understand. Meanwhile, at the front of this A&R Pre-National 600 race, we said that Dean Mulcahy needs to win, and now he's trying to find a way past George Pycroft. Down into Edwina's, it's still a bit slippery, still a few damp patches out there, so you have to be careful under brakes, and especially careful on the throttle out there. And that was really good drive from Dean Mulcahy, and he goes up the inside into the S's. That's big and brave. Quick through there, and Dean Mulcahy takes the lead of this race up ahead of George Pycroft. Now then, where's Adam Revel? He's still in 5th place. This is Chris Sanders and Charlie Morris going around Shaw's hairpin. You can hear it again there, that clicking of the gears. Chris Sanders really struggling away there. He's doing a good job considering he seems to have some sort of issue. Charlie Morris, the rookie there from Potter's Bar, number 157, just at the moment then pushed down to 4th place. In 5th is now James May. 6th place is Adam Revel. Adam would still be champion if he stays where he is at the moment. And well, Dean has done what he needs to do. He was well aware this morning when we woke up. Oh my word! On the start-finish straight, that is frightening! Oh wow! 2 bikes touching there, and that could have been horrific. That is number 17, Gary Hignett, that's gone down. I hope he's okay. And we've got red flags out. Oh, monster crash there. We hope he's okay. That's a horrific place to be going down. Ryder is up and okay, which is fantastic news. That could have been so much worse, but the right decision for the red flags to come out. So the riders line up on the grid. We've got to do it all over again. Forget what you've just seen. We are going to have a 5-lap race. They are on the grid as to where they crossed the line when the red flags came out. That's the only difference that you'll note. Other than that, this is a straight-up 5-lap race. Whoever crosses the line first will win, and it's Pycroft again that has the advantage. You have to feel for Dean Mulcahy there, who'd worked so hard to get himself out into the lead. He's got to do it all over again, and there'll probably be a few nerves from Adam Revel at the moment as well. He was in 6th place and cruising along, and this is the most dangerous part of any race at the start. Really aggressive manoeuvring going on there from Charlie Morris, number 157. Thought he was going to have a look at going into the lead. He came back from about 4th place, so it's Pycroft, Morris and Dean Mulcahy, your top 3. James May has got away to a decent start. Further back there, you can see number 89, Daz Odlin. We've got number 79, Nick Barnes there as well as we go up towards Shaw's hairpin. Number 3 is Chris Dickinson, and already we've got a rider down here up at Shaw's hairpin, and that's 62, Richard White, and he is absolutely seething there as he goes into Shaw's hairpin. Has to walk away, steam coming out of his ears. He's upset with that, but at the front it is 67 Pycroft, and an outside line coming here from Dean Mulcahy. That is the long way round, but my word, what a move from Dean Mulcahy, and he does exactly what he needs to do and gets back out in front, and he does it earlier than he did in race 1 as well, or the first part that we saw. Pycroft then second place. In third, Chris Sanders coming from 5th place, manages to get it to stick, and he moves up well. There's Harry Truelove going well, I have to say, in his first ride in this class. He's up behind championship leader Adam Revel on that Kawasaki. Adam won't want to finish too much further back than he is at the moment. He'll just want to sit there and try and keep himself out of trouble. But Dean Mulcahy knows that he has to throw all caution to the wind and get out there and win. And at the moment, he's got himself some lovely breathing space. Pycroft there in second, number 67. 5 is Chris Sanders. 157 is Charlie Morris. Across the line we go, number 7 James May, then it's 33 Revel and 57 Harry Truelove. Behind them is then number 4 Lee Howarth and number 89 Daz Odlin. Around Gerrard's then, this very quick right-hander that goes on forever and ever and ever before you go on to the Stebby Straight and into Edwinas, the newest part of this Mallory Park circuit, which is great for overtaking but catches so many out. So there's no change at the front, still 95, Dean Mulcahy doing what he needs to do ahead of Chris Sanders and Charlie Morris. There we saw the lime green Kawasaki of Adam Revel, number 33, the rider from Grimsby on the Auto Designs Kawasaki. Wide line there from Dean Mulcahy. He does have the advantage of being able to see on his exit of the Shaw's Hairpin where everyone else is. He's got a good 3 or 4 second lead here already as we exit Devil's Elbow, and the last lap flag is now out. So just this lap for Dean Mulcahy and just this lap for Adam Revel. If he stays where he is, he's crowned the A&R Racing Continental Pre-National Sport 600 champion of 2014, and this lap will go on forever for Adam Revel. It's just one of those situations. He doesn't have to do anything too silly. He's not in any traffic there, but you have to congratulate Dean Mulcahy. All he had to do was win both races. I say all he had to do, that's a pretty tall order. But he can't really do anything about what happens behind him as he exits the S's and flies uphill towards Shaw's Hairpin for the final time. Mulcahy has done all he can, but it's not going to be the championship win for him this time around. As he goes through the bus stop chicane, he will have all of his eyes on what goes on behind once he crosses the line. Mulcahy has done what he needs to do. He exits the Devil's Elbow onto the start-finish straight, and in this 5-lap restart, he takes the win and 25 points. A solid second place there for Chris Sanders. Also, and in third is James May. This is Adam Revel. He goes underneath Harry Truelove. He's taking a risk here on the final lap, but he crosses the line in 5th, and he is the A&R Racing 600 champion. Well done to Adam Revel. He's done the job, and the consistency throughout these last 3 or 4 rounds has paid off. Dean Mulcahy wins then and is confirmed runner-up for 2014. Chris Sanders second, May third, Morris in 4th. Adam Revel is the champion in 5th place, and Harry Truelove there in 6th. Top 3 on the podium there then, Mulcahy, Sanders and May, and in the green, the champion, Adam Revel.
Here we are then, race 1 in the pre-national sport 600s. Dean Mulcahy, that was an absolutely fantastic win here today. Unfortunately, we have winners and losers in championships. It's not quite been your weekend after the tumble yesterday, but you had to do what you had to do today. You won the race, just hasn't quite panned out well.
No, I mean, congratulations to Adam. He rode really well yesterday, got through the front runners pretty quick, and they just put the pressure on me and just made a small error, and that was it really.
You've been so quick all season long. I'm sure you've got a long list of people to thank for all their help in 2014.
Yeah, everyone that come to support me, my family, my girlfriend. Dave Ogden from Phoenix Race Team has been a massive help, always stood by me. Kev from FBM Performance, again. Knox Body Armour for keeping me together, to be honest. And yeah, everybody else, Miller Oils as well, massive thanks to them.
Well, thanks for your part in the play so far this year, and we hope to have you back on the podium again soon.
Yeah, cheers, thank you.
Thank you. We'll move on to Adam Revel. Adam, 5th here in this race, which was enough to take the championship, but this was after a fantastic win yesterday. Unfortunately, obviously, cameras weren't here, so we didn't get to see it. But hey, you've done the job.
Yeah, it's typical. I don't get the win on TV day, but iffy conditions out there. I did pick the wrong tyres. It was just, I had to get 3 points. I had to stay out there and just circulate around and do what I had to do. So it was a good ride in the end, just to stay on there. But yeah, I'm happy. Championship, can't go wrong. It was a good day yesterday. Hopefully it's right this afternoon. Now I've won the championship, we can have a decent race. Like I say, unfortunate Dean crashed yesterday. Otherwise, would have been battling 4 races for the title.
I see you've got a nice brand new helmet there as well, especially painted up as the champion, possibly with a number 1 plate on the bike for later on as well.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, that's a surprise. I didn't even know this was coming. So this is all thanks to the guys that helped me out with a bike all year. So yeah, great. Thanks to them. I mean, all year I've had Auto Designs and JWR Suspension helping me out with a bike. So I couldn't have done it without them. Got a massive group of friends and family to thank, and they've all been chipping in all year, helping out with tyres and everything just to get to where we are today. I couldn't have done it without them. So thanks very much to them.
Well, join us again after the break as we see this crash again. Oh, that was nasty. 500's coming up in a moment. Welcome back to Thundersport Plus. It's now time for the Buff Headwear Thundersport 500s, and what entertainment these guys have brought us so far in 2014. We already have a champion crowned, as Carl Smalley picked that one up at Donington Park. He's decided to sit this one out. So, well, we've still got a full grid of 500s looking to finish the job off. Second place still just about up for grabs. Number 21 there, Tom Leonard, is so far in that runners-up spot. Adam Horton is back with us. Adam, who missed the last round due to his holiday in Mexico. And Jonathan Perry, Jonathan Perry also. And that was an undoubted jump start there for number 108. That is James Butcher, son of John Butcher, who was a runner-up in this championship in the very first year Thundersport took it on. It's one of those unfortunate things because he didn't really gain that much of an advantage. He stopped again and he restarted, but rules are rules, and James Butcher will know exactly what's happened there. He's got the lead. There he is, number 108 with that rookie vest on. A rider to look out for the future, but he's got a bit of a job on here. He'll get a 10-second penalty for that. 32, just up behind him is Will Leaning and number 121 Josh Leaning. They're both up there, the brothers, and they'll be looking to get themselves onto the podium. We're expecting to see them two fighting for the championship next year, as well as a number of others. But with no Carl Smalley here, there is an opportunity for one or two riders to get on the podium and see their number 21 and number 12. Lewis Bramwell is number 12. Tom Leonard, number 21, going well. Other riders to look out for: Dave Grace, number 7, has had a really good weekend so far here at Mallory Park. Another rider that's not here is Sam Smith. You will have seen him on the podium back at Donington Park after an ultimate round of the season as well. So one or two people taking their winter break early down into Edwinas though. Here we go, number 32 lining up a move. Not quite working out there for Will Leaning. Oh, and it's not worked out there either as we exit the chicane. Will Leaning has gone down, so easy to do. And Will, who was so successful at Anglesey a few rounds back there, has gone down. There's number 92, Pete Bardell, who's really coming on very well indeed. He's just up at the sharp end there behind Lewis Bramwell. We've also got there, we see Bramwell and then the red front wheel and green rear wheel of Pete Bardell. It's still Butcher that leads overall, but of course he will have that 10-second penalty that will be added onto his time. So effectively there, number 21, Tom Leonard, is your race leader, ahead of number 121, Josh Leaning, who is yet to find that first podium. Further back, Jack Tynan is having the best weekend of his life so far. Son of Pat Tynan, who's also out in the same class. Horton struggling a bit at the moment, not quite at the races. Steve Wood is having a decent weekend. He's in the top 10 with Matt Snow and Colin Mooney. And James Butcher, who leads on circuit, certainly leads in front of our very eyes here, would probably slot in at the moment in around about 12th, 13th place. There is Pete Bardell, number 92, catching up to this group now, and we've got 5 of them that are all going to fight for this lead. But James Butcher, unfortunately, won't feature on the end results in this. Tom Leonard there in second place, number 21, a proper character of the paddock. He's had his moments this year where he's been unstoppable. He's had some proper races with the eventual champion, Carl Smalley. But it was realistically, if you look back to Anglesey, that was the weekend that really lost it for him. But that's a lovely move up the inside there of James Butcher. They almost touched there, and Butcher nudged out. He's lost all momentum, and that could be bad news for James Butcher, who's about to get swallowed up by a number of other riders. Pete Bardell has gone from 5th, and he's now up into 4th place. He's looking to find a way through, but it's Tom Leonard that has the advantage. All of these bikes absolutely identical, by the way. They might differ by the odd horsepower here and there, depending on, you know, how things go. Not every bike can be completely identical, but there's nothing really to split these guys, as we see 3-5-3. Robin Spink just going through there ahead of James Adams, number 131. There is Butcher taking that really tight line up the inside, almost wiping out the rest of the field. And that's Pete Bardell that has moved up into second place. We said he was making progress. His lap times certainly show that. He is looking very comfortable at the moment, number 92, as he looks to hunt down Tom Leonard, the race leader. You can see there, we've seen it all season before, the riders tucking their arms in as wherever they can. Of course, these are unfaired machines, no front fairing, so they're looking to get as much aerodynamic advantage as possible. As we go down the back straight now, Pete Bardell breaks later, a lot later, and up the inside of Tom Leonard, but he's run wide and allowed Tom Leonard to go back through, and he chops his nose off. So nice stuff there from Tom Leonard. He didn't panic at all. He just allowed Pete Bardell to get himself into all sorts of a mess. And now 1-2-1, Josh Leaning goes up ahead. These guys have been so good for us this year. What a championship we have seen. So much talent about in this class, realistically, from first all the way down to 15th. You just don't know who's going to feature on the podium. Either way, Tom Leonard has been there or thereabouts all year, and he looks set here to take the runners-up spot in the championship. I understand he's got a surprise for us if he gets himself the race win at the end of this. You just never know with Tom. Number 21, the rider out there from Stockton on the TL Racing Honda. There is 92, Pete Bardell from Campton on the PB Racing Honda. Just trying to chase onto the tail there of Josh Leaning from Scunthorpe on the Leaning Racing Honda. His brother Will went down at this point earlier on in the race, and Pete Bardell finds his way back up the inside into second. There's 108, James Butcher. Definitely see here a lot more of James from Hook End on the Triple J's Racing Honda next year. But as for this race, he got that jump start at the start of the race, and that will cost him. Number 12, Lewis Bramwell, definitely his best weekend of the season so far, the rider from Sheffield on the Bramwell relocation Honda. Same colours as Sam Smith runs, so we'll look out for him next season. But good to get some young talent in the group as we go on to the start finish straight once more. James Butcher there, just being overtaken by Josh Leaning, and Leaning's looking to now go up into second overall again as Pete Bardell is under threat. Meanwhile, out front, Tom Leonard extending his advantage. Lewis Bramwell now catching up onto the tail of James Butcher. We lost John O'Toole, one of the outstanding riders back at Donington Parker. First full season for him. We lost him earlier on in the race, as well as Leaning. Jack Liddell has also gone walkies, as well as Neil Watson. This is Tom Leonard. And look at that. Oh, that's a tail ender just shoved in between them there. Dave Schofield, number 72. I thought that the guys managed to catch up to him, but that is just a tail ender. 84 on number 17 there. That is Chris Ashfield just going underneath Dave Moss. And there is, of course, the Senior Cup Championship to think about here. Rob Morby, the overall champion of that, but Colin Mooney is leading overall ahead of number 17, Dave Moss, in the Senior Cup. That's the championship for over 40s. At the front, though, of this race overall, Tom Leonard so far in control and extending that lead out front. Second place at the moment still belongs, despite what you see on your screen, that's James Butcher. He's got that penalty to think about. It will be Pete Bardell. The rest of them might not know, however, that he has a penalty, and they're getting themselves involved in a proper fight here out front. Tom Leonard, though, well, he got himself out of trouble. He's got round about, let's see, as they go into Ed Wieners. It's about a second and a half, 2 seconds, and James Butcher goes really wide into Ed Wieners and loses out to second place now as Peter Bardell goes up into second. That would be Peter's best ever finish in the class. It's Tom Leonard coming towards the end of this race, just putting a lap on Elliot Humphrey there. Around Shaw's hairpin through the bus stop chicane, flick left, flick right, then left again. Be careful of the curbs. They can catch you out. We've seen a few people go down on them before here at Mallory Park. So who's going to get second place? At the moment it looks like Peter Bardell is going to take it. The last lap flag is out then for race leader Tom Leonard, who would secure second overall in the championship. Adam Horton, meanwhile, I think he must still have jet lag from Mexico. We're expecting to see him normally fighting for podiums and fighting for race wins. He's at the moment outside the top 6. So Adam, well, he might hold on to third overall, of course, because Jonathan Perry came here this weekend and he's carrying an injury after a crash here, so we wish him all the best. So Horton will take third overall, but it's going to be this man that wins this race surely now. Just the S's, Shaw's hairpin and the bus stop to go for Tom before before he'll get sight of the checkered flag. Further back, there's Dave Moss, number 17, up the inside, getting back Chris Ashfield. He's going to take second by the looks of things in the Senior Cup, because Colin Mooney's a couple of places up ahead of him, number 101. And Cole is looking like being the Senior Cup winner here. No Rob Hornby here this weekend, as I mentioned, the champion. And across the line then, and the checkered flag is out. Tom Leonard deserves that. Great win for him. He finishes second overall for the season, and the fans and his team members certainly on the side are happy with that. Pete Bardell delighted with his best ever result in the class. Second place for the number 92. Lewis Bramwell is going to take third place, and you can see in the background shot there, that's the surprise that Tom Leonard, you'll see that in a moment. Bramwell third, then ahead of Leaning, Dave Grace and Jack Tynan. By the way, James Butcher got that penalty. He ended up finishing in 10th place. There he is then, Scooby. Tom Leonard the winner, ahead of Pete Bardell and Lewis Bramwell. And in the Senior Cup, it's Mooney from Moss and Dave Schofield.
Winner of the first Sumi Thundersport 500 Senior Cup race here today. Final round of the season. Cole, great win for that, and you look absolutely delighted.
I'm delighted with it. First season, had a fantastic season. Picked up trophies this weekend, all weekend. It's been brilliant. The bike's going great. Some of the lads are not here, so it's gifted me some places, but it's been fantastic and good close racing. Brilliant. Couldn't have asked for more.
You've got a great team, great friends that come along as well, so I'm sure you've got a few people to thank.
Yeah, I've got a load of people to thank, if you can bear with me. I'd like to thank Mark Johnson, Davy Richardson. There's Peter Larmouth helped me get the bikes ready at the beginning. There's lads helped me through the season. Russ Holmes, Mark Parnell and Tony Leonard with tyres. And I've got a sponsor for this meeting, which is a group of guys that I knock about with. I'll not list all the names, there's about 11 or 12 of them, but they've all helped get me out here today, and it's been brilliant. I've rewarded them well.
Winner of the first Thundersport 500 race here at Mallory Park, Tom Leonard. Tom, you've come here, you've absolutely wrapped up second place overall in the championship. What a weekend you're having so far, 3 out of 3.
Yeah, it's been really good. We did a sort of like, had a bad qualifying yesterday, but unfortunately when it came dry, it seemed to go a little bit better in the dry. We had 2 wins yesterday. Win today, yeah, didn't seem to get too much grief, but a nice day with Peter Bardell. It's nice to see some other fresh faces on the roster meet as well with Lewis and Peter. But yeah, had a brilliant meeting so far, so I just hope it can continue, you know.
Well, you've cracked the first clue anyway, and other than Shaggy, who else have you got to thank?
Yeah, well, there's a young lass who's sponsored us for this meeting. She's done a sponsored silence, Maisie Walker, and one of her favourite characters is Scooby-Doo. So I told her if I won a race, I'm going to dress up as Scooby-Doo. It's also symbolic of all the other 500 riders on the grid who are all barking mad.
Is there anyone else you'd like to thank as well, Tom?
There's Plum Centre, Stockton-on-Tees. They're going to support my effort in 2015. Those heating and hot water experts from down your way, Worcester Bosch Group, brilliant support from them all year. Hilton, Gary and Jeff, my team. There's a whole host of people who've sponsored me that I don't have time to list here, but everyone who's helped me, they know they are, and I'm really, really appreciative of it. It's been a fantastic year for us. And the Thundersport ethos and the thing that run here is brilliant. And I'm pleasured and honoured to be a part of it.
Well done, Scoop.
Thank you. Cheers.
Oh! Absolutely mad. Join us again after the break. Stanier and Strafford level on points. Welcome back to Mallory Park, the Isle of Man race product, Street Fighters. Well, it couldn't get any closer than this. After 33 races, Martin Stanier, number 121, and number 57, Ryan Strafford, are equal on points. You could not write that. They are level just as they were when they rolled out for the first race of the season this year. Strafford there knows he's got a bit on his plate because Stanier has won every single race so far this weekend, and of course he's slightly down on power, but at least they both know the situation. Whoever finishes ahead of who is the champion of the Street Fighter Extreme Championship. Strafford, of course, already Street Fighter B champion. Stanier yet to pick up a championship, full stop. Front row there, you can see number 2, Andy Plaskett, up next to Stanier, but as we go down into turn 1, a good start from Kev Hadl as well. It's the 2 men that we wanted to see at the front. Martin Stanier, 121, and 57 Strafford. Further back there's Steve Dufton, fresh from that crash over Ed Wieners earlier. Not sure if we'll see, Dave Blakey has got back out again, which is good news. So both riders okay from that earlier incident. Kev Howdle, the other Street Fighter A runner then, has got his nose in between the two championship rivals. Number 49, the rider known as Mr. L'Oreal himself. That's the name that's been given to him by Sid, I should just point out. He's out there on that Alpha Hair Design Suzuki. Up towards Shaw's Hairpin then for these guys, and the overflow for the Thundersport 500s. And a lot of rookie vests out there. There is number 110, Dave Blakey, after that incident earlier. But it's Stania that leads from 49, Kev Howdle, and then Ryan Strafford. There's 44, Mick Riddle, Coningsby, RAF Motorsports Association rider on the Kawasaki. It's number 30 just going through the shot there, Adrian Bridges from Solihull. Adrian just about got the third place overall in the Street Fighter C Championship wrapped up, so we'll be seeing him again next year, I'm sure. Number 123 is Andrew Pugh from Bury St Edmunds on the AP Racing Honda, another rookie vest for him. But it's Stania from Howdle, and then Cunvin and Strafford. And it's just not quite happening here for Ryan Strafford, is it? Not sure if it's just a wrong tyre decision. It's drier here, so nobody will be going for wets. But Stania is looking difficult to stop, and Strafford has got a mountain to climb if he wants to catch up with him now. And this is not looking good for Ryan Strafford, although he has just got back past Paul Cunvin there, number 18. Paul, another of our RAF Motorsport Association riders from Kings Lynn. Not a million miles away from where I live. Paul is a good sport as well, and he's trying to get himself in the mix. There's Keith Warren, he fell at Shaw's Hairpin in race 1. He's got that number 1 plate on because he is Street Fighter C champion. Leading the 500 Cups at the moment, James Plummer, 134. That would be a new face for the top step. But Martin Stania so far, he's so smooth, not putting a foot wrong, and that's a lead he's got there. There is Strafford, he's just gone underneath Paul Cunvin. I'm sorry, Ryan, that this is not looking good for the overall Street Fighter Extreme Championship. I should just point out, when we started this year, Strafford's intentions was to win Street Fighter B. He didn't even expect to get himself up in the mix for the Street Fighter Extreme Championship, and now we're here at the final round. He's probably going to have to rely on some sort of mistake or mechanical issue for Martin Stania out front to change things. A bit of a wobble there from Kev Howdle on the exit of the bus stop chicane. You miss a gear there or clip a curb and it's curtains. There's number 2, Andy Plaskett, up ahead of 44, Mick Riddle. Further back, we've then got Adam Palfman, Chris Fink, Adrian Bridges, Keith Warren, and Drew Castle. And then James Plummer, the leader of the 500 Cup. And these two here, who have been fighting it out for Street Fighter B Championship all year long. Strafford got those spoils. They are still having a proper fight out there, and I'm sure enjoying themselves, despite the fact that it now looks like Stania is going to be crowned champion. 49 there, Kev Howdle, just falling into the clutches of this group as we exit Edwinas and go through the S's. Really quick part of the circuit there. That's right and left flick, and then uphill towards the hairpin. Andy Plaskett there, number 2, also in the frame for this. It stopped starting through Shaw's Hairpin there. There is Kev Howdle, still again struggling with the bus stop chicane. And here comes Paul Cunvin in 3rd place overall. Stania is checking out. He's at the front of this group. This is a nice battle for 2nd place. Here's Stania. He is lapping at the moment a good 2nd quicker per lap than anyone else. And, well, I don't think Martin has got a pit bull. If he has, he'll be told of what's going on behind him. He can cruise home. Someone just went straight on there, down into Edwinas. Now, it wasn't that. Ryan Strafford has just gone straight. Someone's definitely gone straight on, and it was Strafford. He's gone through there, and, well, that is definitely it for him in this championship, I'm afraid. It's not going to work out for him unless Stania runs into some trouble. As we mentioned, this race was level on points coming into it. We were hoping and praying for a straight fight between Strafford and Stania, but it looks like just at the final hurdle here, Ryan Strafford's not quite able to get his leg over the line, and it's going to be Stania that takes this championship. But a good effort anyway from Ryan on a machine that's less powerful. Paul Cunvin, though, the moment in line to take 2nd overall in this race. 3rd place there for Andrew Plaskett. We've got Strafford up there as well. So Strafford's just got to fight for some pride now and try and get himself up to 2nd place overall. That's about the best he can hope for, and that's the way to do it. Around the outside of number 2, Plaskett, and up the inside of Paul Cunvin. He caught the pair of them napping there. There's a rider just pulling in with his leg out. That's 66 Joe Bristow. He's got some problems. Another rider that's gone down or out of this race is Phil Doody, the Dudester. Number 147 has already got a sore backside after high-siding out of Ed Wieners. Well, we understand it's a high side, although every time you hear from Phil, the story gets elevated up to a bigger and bigger event all the time. But Phil's out of this race. Last lap flag out then. Stanier is just less than a lap around Mallory Park away from picking up the Street Fighter Extreme Championship. Stratford, we can only hope for second place now. Here is number 121, the rider from Stoke-on-Trent that for the last 4 or 5 years has been in the Street Fighter Championship fighting in the A class, and he's picked up wins in the B class as well, but he's never ever been able to get himself on the top step overall for a championship. Today looks like being his day. 169, that's Richard Bloxham just putting lap there by Mr. L'Oreal, Kev Howdell, and this is it then. Second place for Stratford. It looks like Plaskett's just got his nose up ahead of Paul Cumbin into Shaw's hairpin. But the checkered flag is out, and congratulations to Martin Stanier. You are a champion. You've got it done at last. He's not showing too much emotion. He's not the most emotional character in the world, I will just point out, Martin Stanier. But either way, I'm sure he is bursting with joy inside. And just across the line now is close for second place. Stratford looking over his shoulder. He just pinches it in the end. Second place for him. Andy Plaskett finishes in a strong third ahead of Paul Cumbin, Kev Howdell fifth, and Mick Riddle in sixth place in the final Street Fighter race of the year. Stanier there then, the champion, ahead of Kev Howdell and Chris Fink in the A class. In the Bs, it's Stratford. He finishes up ahead there of Cumbin and Mick Riddle. In Street Fighter C, it's Bridges the winner from Keith Warren, the champion, and John Mead. And in the 500 Cup, it's James Plummer with his first win ahead of Lee Silvat and Lee Winters. Championship standings then at the end of 2014, a 5-point win for Martin Stanier over Ryan Stratford. Brilliant stuff there from all concerned.
Second Street Fighter race of the day here at Mallory Park. In fact, the final Street Fighter race of the year. And Adrian, another win for you? Delighted, you must be.
Well, yeah, very, very, very pleased. I've had a good weekend, 3 first places, a second place. To be honest, I couldn't believe it. My first year as well at Thundersport, first year racing. So yeah, I'm really happy.
It's been good to have you in the championship, and good to see you picking up some trophies. A few people to thank.
Yeah, they're the family, Claire, Emily and Katie. Spotlight Racing, Gary and Matt, Stechford Mouldings, Distropol, Core Security, SW Fabrications, and everyone else helps me out.
Well done.
Thank you. Cheers.
Move on now to Ryan Stratford in Street Fighter B, the Street Fighter B champion. That was just a bridge too far for you, the Extreme Championship in the end, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, I think we kept him honest throughout the year, but the Extreme was designed for the bigger bikes, and he couldn't have gone to a better person. So, well, it could have come on me, but it was what it was, and we got a Street Fighter B, which is exactly what we wanted. Couldn't be any happier than I am right now.
Well, to take it all the way in the way that you have, it's been great to have you both in the championship, and I'm sure you have a few people you'd like to thank, as this is the last time you'll have to say it in 2014.
It is, yeah. I mean, we've got to thank Access Drilling, KDC, Held Leathers, everybody that's helped me out. I mean, Dad's, he's worked tirelessly in the garage, Mum, Liz, everybody that's come this weekend. We've got family come up from Cornwall to watch us, so, thank you everybody, and God bless.
Thank you very much to Ryan Stratford. Then now on to Martin Stanier. Martin, you've done it in the end. You got there. Job done. I know it's been a few rounds where we've been getting the calculators out, but finally Street Fighter Extreme Championship wrapped up.
Yeah, I made hard work of that, I think. Had a few whoopsies along the way, but yeah, had great fun this year. I love the Street Fighter class. It's they're really good fun to ride, and yeah, loads of fun, and won the championship. It couldn't have worked out better.
We've obviously seen you in the Thundersport paddock over the last few years, popping into the odd round and picking up some trophies. This is the first time we'll see you on the top step overall throughout the season. Who would you like to thank?
We haven't got anybody really. It's all paid for by ourselves. So I'd like to thank the family. It's them that doesn't go on posh holiday, so I can go racing. So it's a big thanks to Caroline, Zach, and Meg for putting up with my addiction, shall we say.
Well done.
Thanks, mate. Thank you.
Well done to you, Martin Stanier, champion of 2014. Coming up after the break, pre-national Sport 600s. Welcome back to Mallory Park. It's Thundersport Plus, the final round of the season, and the A&R Racing Pre-National Sports 600s may have been settled in race 1, and there you see the number 1 plate on a bike. I do love seeing a number 1 plate put on a bike. He's the champion, but still 1 race to go, and Dean Mulcahy there is the runner-up, and he'll want to go out with some pride here and win this race. Chris Sanders, he might have something to say about that, number 5, and George Pycroft so far today has got a 100% record in getting the whole shot, so number 67, look out for him just on the inside nearest to the control tower. There is the red flag. As soon as Dave walks off, we'll be ready to go racing. The champion is on pole position then, Adam Revel. Dean Mulcahy though will want to win this one. Away from the line we go. Good start there from Mulcahy, number 95. Good start again from George Pycroft, number 67 as well. But as they go into turn 1, it looks like Pycroft just with the advantage. We'll find out in a moment how that's gone. Not a good start at all from Adam Revel. Really got swallowed up and bumped down. What is he down in 6th, 7th place? Dean Mulcahy it is that leads though from Charlie Morris 157, who's gone wide there, just holds on to second ahead of George Pycroft, but then runs wide again on the exit, and Pycroft looks like he's taken full advantage. He has. 67 Pycroft then up into second place. Further back you can see all of the pre-national 600s going around the S's. Number 46 there is Alistair Wright. Liskeard, well, maybe motorsport rider in his first season of racing. Pycroft second there ahead of Morris. And number 6 is Brendan Mallender. Brendan, nice to see him out, one of the most improved riders for 2014, and definitely in with a shout to winning this championship next year if he enters, but he's being overtaken there by the champion, Adam Revel, who's regrouped. It's one of those sort of really nice positions for Adam Revel here. He's not going to panic anymore. There's no consolidation required. He could just enjoy this final race of the season knowing that he's got that number 1 plate on. Dean Mulcahy though with a good advantage out front. That's a good second, or maybe just over, that he's got over Pycroft, and now Adam Revel, who's up to 3rd place, who's got past Charlie Morris as well. And Adam Revel wants to go out here and properly fight with Dean Mulcahy. There's going to be a dust-up out front, and he's made another place up. A fine lap here from Adam Revel, the champion, number 1. He's gone from about 5th or 6th place all the way up into 2nd, and now he's got his sights set on Dean Mulcahy, the race leader of the Phoenix Race Team Yamaha. There's Morris up ahead of Mallender, and number 5 is Chris Sanders on that red Triumph. Brendan Mallender, by the way, the runner from Rotherham on the BM Racing Honda. Never seen any of these circuits before, and well, there you can see the headlight stickers on his bike, number 6. Definitely keep an eye on him for next year. Number 157, as mentioned before, Charlie Morris from Potter's Bar. Orange bib on for him, another rider that has gone well, and we'll look out for him next year. But it's Mulcahy out front, and that gap has come down. Adam Revel closing in now to Dean Mulcahy, and if he shows his front wheel to Dean, Dean will not give up. Dean is always up for a good fight, and both of these guys will want to win the championship. Adam Revel, of course, will want to win it because he's champion. He wants to prove that he's champion, and for good reason too. Dean Mulcahy wants to say, well, I'm finishing 2nd overall, but you know what, I've had a few falls this year, and I know that I can win this race, and I know I'm the better man. Either way, unfortunately for Dean, it's not going to quite work out like that when you look at the points at the end of this race, because he's lost out on the championship, and well, to finish first you have to finish, and Adam Revel has deserved the championship on that basis. Dean Mulcahy has won his fair share of races this year and wants to do the same again. Down into Edwin as we go, the class of the field stretching away from the rest of the pack, and Adam Revel just inching closer and closer now to that Yamaha up ahead of him. They exit Edwin is up through the S's. Further back here is 57 Harry Truelove, and number 88 Mike Golden. Number 13 there is Pete Nelson, just up ahead of James May, who's struggling in this race compared to what we saw him in those tricky conditions earlier, and there's a change for the lead. Dean Mulcahy just literally opens the door very slightly, and Adam Revel pounces. The champion takes the lead, and that will certainly get Dean Mulcahy going. He knows exactly who that is, and into the slipstream we go, and now we've got a proper fight on our hands as they go past the start-finish line. True Love there just going ahead of number 88 Mike Golden again. We also had Daz Odlin in the mix, Richard White, Ben Shuttlewood, Matt Nelson, May, Dickinson, Barnes there inside the top 15. Charlie Oakland is fighting for points as well. She's been with us since day one. in Thundersport GP, but it's Revel, the champion, that wants to win this final race of the year with his brand new #1 plate on that Kawasaki. Dean Mulcahy, though, trying to find a way through, waiting for a mistake, and that was wide from Adam Revel, really wide, and he's allowed Dean Mulcahy back through again. One mistake and they're pouncing on each other. They both want to win this final race of 2014. Brilliant to see riders first and second in the championship having a proper dust up. There's George Pycroft further back though. He's fighting for any podium he can get. Not mentioned Lee Howarth just yet, #4. He's having an excellent run out there. He's fighting up inside the top 5 with Chris Sanders and Brendan Mallender. As we see further back there, Golden, Harry Truelove, 62 is Richard White, and #89, Daz Odlin from Louth on the Rat Out Racing Yamaha. Daz Odlin, who, when he does come racing with us, always manages to get himself in and around that top 10. And there's Lee Howarth, #4. This is the battle for 3rd place. Chris Sanders, Brendan Mallender, and then Lee Howarth. There's 82, just about to be lapped, Ricky Allen, by your race leaders, and it's Dean Mulcahy that still has the advantage. They go around the outside of him. Further back, this is Harry Truelove. Good first weekend for him. We've got a rider gone straight on there. Well, hang on a minute. Reset the sat nav. What's going on here? It's George Pycroft going a very strange way back onto the circuit, but Pycroft there, who was in with a shout of a top 5 finish, is going to struggle now. That was the battle for 5th and 6th place. Dean Mulcahy though, #95, race leader on the Phoenix Race Team Yamaha, ahead of Team Auto Design's Kawasaki rider #1, Adam Revel. Having taken the championship earlier on, they break up towards Shaw's hairpin, and Dean won't want to run wide. He did that earlier and allowed Adam Revel through. Revel's going to have to find another way through, so they bunch up into the bus stop chicane. Crucial to get on the gas as early as possible. Adam Revel using all of the curbs there, and that just gives him a slightly tighter line coming onto the start-finish straight, but he's still in with a shout here. There we saw Charlie Morris. There's Mike Golden, #88. Mike Ringwood on the Martin & Company Kawasaki. Saw him pick up a race win at Brands Hatch last year, or was it the year before, in the pre-national 600s. It's Mulcahy still with this advantage out front from Adam Revel. Second in the championship versus the champion of 2014, and Revel just not quite close enough at the moment to make a move into Shaw's hairpin. He's waiting for a mistake here. He takes that, he takes the quickest line possible around the corner, but Mulcahy's taken a defensive line, so there'll be no change there. And Mulcahy's making that Yamaha R6 very wide indeed. Out of the Devil's Elbow we go, still no change there. There's Charlie Morris, #157, struggling a bit there, it looked like, to get the bike stuck. You can take a couple of different lines into Shaw's hairpin. The wide approach, which gives you a nice exit, or you can take the tight approach, which just guarantees you of holding on to position. Leaders going into Gerrard's then. Looking behind him, further back, one of the tail enders, #26, Andy Cooley. That is Brendan Mallender, #6, who's currently in 3rd place, and in 4th was Chris Sanders, #5, but that was a really lovely move by Lee Howarth, who's looking to get his first podium. He moves up into 4th place then, and now hunts down Brendan Mallender for 3rd. Here they are, Mallender #6, #4 is Lee Howarth, and #5 Chris Sanders. Sanders just struggling a bit here with that triumph. He's going to end up this season in 4th place overall. No Paul Rogers here this weekend. Mulcahy's still with that advantage, and that looks like he's extended it slightly as they go across the line. Mallender still in 3rd place, #6 on the Honda. Up ahead of #4, Lee Howarth, and then British Army rider Chris Sanders, and the last lap flag is out then. So, well, it's been a good season from both of these guys. Adam Revel is going to have to find something pretty magical to win this race now. He's quick through Ed Wieners though. He's got pretty much just one more chance here, and that's to overtake into Shaw's hairpin. This is the battle for 3rd place. There's Chris Sanders going from 5th up into 3rd ahead of Mallender. Lee Howarth then pushed back into 5th himself, so I said he was struggling, but Sanders has got to grips with that well. Mulcahy taking a really defensive sort of slow line into Shaw's hairpin. Adam Revel can do nothing about it but watch. It's going to be a drag race to the line, and Revel's going to have to light up that rear end of the Kawasaki to try and get on the pace, and that's not a bad effort, but it's going to be Mulcahy surely that wins the final race of the year. Good racing between the top 2 in the championship overall. Mulcahy is the winner, however, ahead of the overall champion for 2014, which is Adam Revel. And in third place across the line, it is Lee Howard that picks up the podium, ahead of Brendan Mallender and Chris Anderson. Chris must have had a problem over at Shaw's hairpin somewhere, and Charlie Morris ends up finishing in 6th place. But a really good solid race that from the top 2 in the championship. Dean Mulkey the winner then from Revel, and Lee Howard with his first podium. Points overall then at the end, well, not a lot in it. 21 points separate Adam Revel and Dean Mulkey. Matt Truelove confirmed as 3rd in the championship, Sanders 4th, Paul Rogers 5th, and Parsons in 6th. That's it from these guys. Coming up after the break though, race 2 for the Buff Headwear Thundersport 500s. Welcome back to Thundersport Plus, the final part and the final race of 2014. The Buff Headwear Thundersport 500s. Will Leaning lines up there, number 32 after that crash. He's on pole position. He crashed out, of course, on the exit of Ed Wieners. There's his brother Josh, who just missed out on a podium in race 1, finishing 4th. 108, James Butcher, well, he'll be looking to make sure he doesn't jump start this time around. He was up there in the running, the rookie, number 108. Number 92 on the right of his shot there. Now Pete Bardell finished 2nd, the best ever result for him so far in 2014. But it was Tom Leonard, number 21, the race winner, confirming 2nd place overall in the championship. Away we go from the line, and Tom Leonard there struggled to keep his front wheel on the ground, and he'll suffer as a result of that as the 500s charge down towards turn 1. Two brothers there, the Leaning brothers, looking like they're pretty strong. James Butcher might have just got the inside line though, the rookie number 108. No jump start for him, I'm pleased to say, this time around, and it is Butcher that has the advantage, number 108. What a revelation he has been over the last few rounds, and also for Pete Bardell, who moves up into 2nd place. All of these guys, of course, will be racing with us again next year in the 500s, and I cannot tell you how long the list is of riders in other championships that have seen this year and thought, you know, that looks like good fun, and they're all entering it. We're going to have a good 20 riders, you know, that could all potentially win this championship next year. There's Dave Moss up ahead of number 81, which is Owen Graves. Number 108, though, it is James Butcher that has the early advantage here up ahead of, that looks to be Lewis Bramwell, just number 12. And then the Leaning brothers, that's Will in 3rd and Josh in 4th. Then Tom Leonard. There's Dave Grace, number 7. And number 70 on the green CBR Honda is Matt Snow. All of these bikes Honda CBR 500s, by the way. There is the facility to allow Kawasaki's and Suzuki's in, but they're just not quite the weapon of choice, so nobody's got one. The last time we saw a different bike out here was probably Joe Bart a few years back when he had the Kawasaki, but Honda 500s the choice here. There's Adam Horton, number 49, white machine, black and bright yellow leathers, up in the top 6 or 7, the rider that will finish 3rd overall in the championship. My word! How on earth has Butcher there, 108, and number 92, Pete Bardell, stayed on the machines. Pete Bardell almost knocking the pair of them off. They've stayed on board, and that has allowed Will Leaning now on the inside. Well, he'll have the outside line going into Gerard to get himself into the mix. Down into turn 1 then, it is Pete Bardell just that has the advantage now from Butcher, and there's Leonard up into 3rd place, going ahead of number 32, Will Leaning. Josh Leaning is just about hanging on in there in 5th place, and alongside him with those Dayglow yellow and black leathers is Adam Horton. Then it's Dave Grace, number 7. Dave from Mickleover of Peter Pan Racing Honda, who it's actually impossible for Dave Grace to say hello to you without calling you Duck. All right, Duck. And it's always nice to see him up the sharp end. Maybe he will get himself closer and closer to that podium next year. But out front, looks like Pete Bardell fancies a turn of leading. It's not to be. James Butcher, son of John Butcher. Back in 09 it was when the Thundersport 500 came to Thundersport GB, and it was a championship fight between Jonathan Harrison and John Butcher. And it's always great to see riders' sons getting out there and really coming on, and this is exactly what's happening for James Butcher here. Family all there. There's John O'Toole, number 27, just up ahead of Lou Osler. Lou, who's perhaps not having his greatest weekend, still suffering a bit with injuries, but he has said to me that there is no option. Next year it's the championship. He wants to win the championship, and you wouldn't put it past him. He's still having a lot of fun out there. Pete Bardell, though, is enjoying this race more than anyone else. Number 92, the rider from Campton, who has this advantage over James Butcher. And what a great racing these guys produce. Leonard still in third, Will leading, Josh leading, then Adam Horton. There's number 70. It's Matt Snow from Brig on the Rat Out Racing Honda. There's Adam Horton, number 49. Jet lag gone now, the rider from Winsford on the Dinosaur Fork Rechroming Honda going well. And again, James Butcher here and Pete Bardell are properly going at it. Tom Leonard in third isn't quite sure what to do. Do I sit back and watch, or do I get involved? Because they look like they're going to wipe each other out any moment. The Leaning brothers are doing well there as well in fourth and fifth, ready to pounce. Dave Grace, number 7, 49 Horton, 70 Snow, O'Toole, 27, are all catching up because everyone's tripping each other up. There's a change there as Leonard just manages to push past Pete Bardell, who goes for the wide line, and it's gonna work. Look at the speed that Peter Bardell's carrying around there. There's number 16 and number 131. 16 is James Wagner and 131 James Adams. But into Edwin as Butcher punches them all up again. That tight line to Edwin, but Pete Bardell's carrying a lot of momentum. The top 4 you could throw a blanket over. Butcher from Bardell, number 92, but here comes Tom Leonard. He's going to have the inside line, their elbows out here, up into Shaw's hairpin, and Butcher stands them all up again. Oh, Butcher's carrying so much corner speed elsewhere, but when it comes to the chicane and the hairpin, Butcher, look at what he's doing. He's brilliant stuff. Well done. You can do this more often, James. This is fantastic stuff. And there's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, probably 10, 11, 12 riders that could actually find themselves on the podium at the end of this. And Lou Osler in the background will be wanting them to trip each other up even further, because at the moment, this is brilliant stuff. Peter Bardell has taken the lead, though. He's gone past James Butcher. Tom Leonard in third. Oh, no, and we've lost one of them, and it's Will leaning again. And he's ended a frustrating day there, and that looks like a mechanical failure. So he's out of the running. It's Bardell, 92 from 108 Butcher. Then number 21, Leonard. There's John O'Toole, number 27, rider from Derby on the Auto Shine Body Repairs. Brother-in-law to Leon Haslam. Shaw's hairpin we go, and now it's Bardell's turn to stand them all up and take that defensive line. And you can see why they're taking a defensive line, because you lose one place, you probably lose 5 or 6 here, and you're going to go across the line. You could be a second off the leader and finish in 10th at this rate. Across the line we go again. Peter Bardell got his best ever result in race 1, a second place. He's looking now for his first win. There is James Butcher trying to pull out of the slipstream and go up the inside, and he's going to get it to stick as well. Lovely stuff there from James Butcher, but Bardell carries a lot of corner speed around the outside and might just pounce back, and he does, and a little wave as well. Cheers, mate, thank you very much, and goes through. And Tom Leonard has taken advantage as well. It's either a wave to say hi or a wave to say sorry about something else. And there's Josh leaning, 121, looking pretty hungry in fourth as well. And now Adam Horton, 49, and number 7, Dave Grace. They've all suddenly realised there's a trophy at stake here, and they've closed right in, and Snow and O'Toole are in the mix also. Further back, I daren't even mention what's going on as these two touch again up into the hairpin. Butcher and Peter Bardell are really going for their first ever victory here, and Leonard in the mix also. Brilliant racing here. This is the final race that we'll bring you from Thundersport GB in 2014, and what a way to go out. Who's going to win this one? You could probably pick one of 7 or 8. There's O'Toole and Lou Osler. Further back, Jack Tynan, Neil Watson, Colin Movie, Corkett, Ashfield, Harley Preble taking up the final point. Harley with the finest set of sideburns that you're ever likely to see. But out front, it is Peter Bardell. That's the bigger lead as I've seen so far throughout this race. It's about 4 bike lengths up ahead there of James Butcher, who shoves it up the inside of Tom Leonard. Then it's Josh leading, then it's Horton. Number 7 is Dave Grace, and number 70 Snow. They're coming up on some traffic now, and I feel sorry whoever this is about to be lapped, because there's about 10 bikes coming up on Mr. Schofield there, That's Peter Bardell though, who's dealt with that very well. He might just have enough breathing space here to see the rest of the pack off and get his first win. Butcher still looking for his first victory and his first podium. There's O'Toole, who's done very well to catch up to the back of this group. He's been helped out a lot, of course, by the rest of them tripping each other up. The last lap flags out. I could do with another 20 laps of this. Peter Bardell it is that leads. He's got around about half a second now over Butcher and Leonard and Grace, and now Grace has thought, I want that podium. He's going the long way round, and so is Josh Leaning, and there's Adam Horton up the inside as well. Any one of these guys could be on the podium. I'm not sure they're going to catch this man though. Number 92, Peter Bardell from Campton on the PB Racing Honda, is probably, his heart must be going like the clappers, and Dave Grace has gone, well, I want the podium, I'm taking the shortcut. He's gone across the grass there. Oh, and he's knocked off Adam Horton at a really quick part of the circuit. Adam Horton, you deserve a medal and a trophy yourself for staying on the bike there. Dave Grace, that was a bit naughty, mate, that was. That was a bit naughty, Duck. But this is the battle for second place, and Leonard has gone up ahead of James Butcher, who was caught napping there and struggling, but it's going to be Pete Bardell who takes his first ever win at the last race of Asking for the season. Across the line for Bardell, Leonard takes second, and Butcher gets his first podium in third place. That was quite simply superb racing from the Buff Headwear Thundersport 500s. Could you ask for a better advert for this championship? You want in? Well, you better find a bike quickly. Bardell wins from Leonard and Butcher. Leaning finishes fourth. That's Josh Leaning. Dave Grace fifth after the last lap frolics. And it's Matt Snow in sixth place. Top win then for Peter Bardell. Nice teeth for Leonard in second, and third place for rookie Butcher. And in the Senior Cup, Cole Mooney wins again from David Moss and Pat Tynan. Championship standings then, Smalley won it back at Donington. He is crowned champion, 25 ahead of Tom Leonard. That's quite close in the end. Horton finishes third. Rob Morby takes fourth place and wins the Senior Cup ahead of Perry, and Stephen Wood is in sixth place. Senior Cup champion confirmed already, of course, at Donington. Morby, the overall winner from Cole Mooney. David Moss takes third place overall ahead of Phil Brown.
Race winner, new race winner, Peter Bardell. Pete, you've had a really good weekend and you've been creeping up that leaderboard, and here you are, final race of the year, and you get yourself on the top step. How happy are you?
Oh, I'm over the moon. I can't quite believe it, but yeah, it's awesome. Nice to win one after, up and down season, but yeah, it's awesome.
It's a really competitive class out there, isn't it? So this must be the icing on the cake.
It is, yeah, to win one. I didn't think I'd win one, but to finish first in the last race, it's a right touch, so we're happy, yeah.
Anyone to thank?
Lou, my missus, for coming. Dawn and Joe, who I forgot last time. Phil Doody taught me everything I knew. Thanks, Phil. And also a special mention to Christopher Ashfield.
Well, that's it from 2014. Some great racing to see us out. Join us again for more of that at Brands Hatch in 2015.